Mr. Duffy, I wanted to give you an update on your project. So we've got your bilge pump installed, got your tank installed. We're waiting on your fuel gauge, and I also discovered an issue with your temperature gauge. So we're waiting on a new belt. Here's your 12-volt conversion generator, and we're just waiting on a new belt. And we had to put a new pulley on it. So the other pulley, these things are, the original pulleys are very fragile. They're made out of cast pot metal. This one is one of our new pulleys that we have CNC machined out of billet aluminum, but those other ones are they're like $100, $120, something like that, and they're cast and they're crappy, and they break when you take them. A lot of times when you take them off, they break. So we've got these. These are $160, but they will outlive two of the others. But anyway, while I was looking at the engine, and my guy was asking me if we wanted to paint it, detail the engine or anything. And I said, no, that wasn't in our scope of work. Just to convert to 12 volts was what was in our scope of work. I noticed that, and here's where your temperature gauge, your temperature sensor goes. So this piece should slide in and out of this piece easily. It doesn't. As a matter of fact, I had to take this out and try to beat this out, and of course it mushroomed at the end. So it didn't beat out either. But I'll get it out of there. That won't be a problem. But you may want to switch over to an electronic gauge, and the reason being, this was originally a capillary tube with ether in it, and so there's ether in this bulb, and it may have already been broken, or it may have gotten broken when we took the engine out. But if this doesn't, if the fitting doesn't come off, if this doesn't slide out easy, then what happens is this breaks off, and when you go to try to disconnect your gauge from the engine, and that's exactly what happened here. That broke off. So you may want to go to an electric gauge. We can have your gauge, the guts changed in it, and put an electric gauge in, or I can put another capillary tube gauge in. It's just that the next time that you go to deal with it, this is like what always happens. So so I wanted to get some input on that from you. Also wanted to get some input on your wiring. Your wiring is in pretty sad shape. If you, like for example, this wiring on this side is frayed, and you can see it worse right here in these wires. These wires are, whoops, come on, where'd my wires go? There they are. So these wires are all frayed, and they go down the side of under the stringer up to your dash. So those wires are frayed. Your oil pressure gauge, this is the line for your oil pressure gauge. It's mechanical, no big deal. This was the line that went to your temperature gauge, and it actually looks like it's been, whoops, like it's been, let me zoom back out, like this has been broken off for a long time. I don't know that for a fact, but again, it's something that can't be helped if we're going to pull the engine out. So that's how that occurred, and we just need to react to it. Do you want me to go back with the original gauge, or do you want me to go back with an electronic gauge? That problem won't happen to you again with an electronic gauge. Now I also have, yeah, here it is. I had something in my pocket I wanted to share with you. I have a sample, or I have a piece of material that was used to hold up your wiring. Actually, this was holding up your fuel line. And we're putting all new Coast Guard approved rubber compound fuel line in. It's much safer than the copper that was there. And but what I wanted to show you is this material. This piece is a scrap piece of material that was used from your upholstery when your boat was built, and then here's the reproduction material right next to it. So I just wanted to show you how accurate that is. Okay, so just two questions, or just not two questions. Just wanted to inform you about we had to put a new pulley on the generator. Also wanted to, and I've got an example of an old pulley. This is not your old pulley. This is the one we made the new ones out of. But it's a cast pot metal. And this one, of course, the keyway's all beat up on it and everything. But we used this one to actually work with our local machine shop to make a CNC one out of billet aluminum for us. So this is one of the new pulleys. I've got one more left over for when the time comes when somebody else has a problem. So that's the update for today, and just wanted to catch you up on your project. Thank you.